Hi, I'm Ben, and I should point out something. Another video I'm doing. Marvel Spider-Man, the shows that I've been doing episode recaps about, because I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Yeah, oh my, sorry I sneezed. Yeah, the show isn't over now. Like I seen it on the list. The show ended now, so there's no more Marvel Spider-Man. Maximum Venom was his last season, and it did end on a good note, like them trying to start a new school and Iron Man there. I was pretty satisfied. But yeah, that's really it. I, I, mm. But yeah, I can understand why a lot of people didn't like the show, because the color, like I heard people liked it and people didn't like it, but the colors were a bit muddy and the animation was a bit muddy, but which weird because people point out like Teen Titans did this better from its original show, and this is in 2021. 2017 it started. But which is weird is because at the same because before Ultimate Spider-Man had better animation, but then its animation went nowhere. But then now they changed the animation, it looked pretty muddy. Like if you look at Ultimate Spider-Man's animation of how realistic and drawn the characters looked, and how it went to the opposite direction. I mean, it was still making episodes in 2017, and then the replacement was this. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, this is what I've heard. I was watching a video of someone reviewing it, and then they brought up another video about someone working at Marvel Animation, and one person wanted to make a Captain Marvel standalone series, but they weren't hiring good people, and they were just hiring freelance animators to just do it. And he didn't really put any care, so I don't think it's anyone's fault. I just think of bad management. It's not Disney, it's not anyone, it's just bad management at Marvel Animation. And that's not good, because Marvel has their own animation, Marvel Comics has their own animation studio. They can't treat their source material like this. That's not fair. They really should fire somebody. But yeah, whatever the series was, I really enjoyed it. I was disappointed that we didn't got to see a proper Green Goblin, because, like, you know what the Green Goblin looks in the comics, like the green suit. Like the last time we ever got a true Green Goblin like that was in Spectacular Spider-Man. But I kind of want a Green Goblin that looks like the Green Goblin from the comics. Like in Ultimate Spider-Man, he was like this big green monster. He was like that in the Ultimate version, like the Ultimate comics, and they even somewhat portrayed him the same way in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. But yeah, which is pretty cool. But in here they try to put on this armor, and then they're like this goblin armor, and then it's like he's the Hobgoblin, and he's this and this. And then it's like Green Goblin, but it's like the Dark Goblin. It's like a Venom Goblin hybrid, and like what? It's like just becomes the Goblin. But yeah, that's how this. But yeah, the series is over, and it had a good run. I'm glad we got to see Mary Jane, and I'm glad it didn't end on a cliffhanger, because if you look at Spectacular Spider-Man, Spider-Man Unlimited, Spider-Man the new animated series, they all ended on cliffhangers. I mean, the Spider-Man 90s anime series before Spider-Man Unlimited, that did kind of end on a cliffhanger. It's like, let's go find Mary Jane, but it did have a satisfying ending, like Spider-Verse, him trying to defeat an evil Spider-Man. That had a better ending. But they're like, let's go find Mary Jane, and that you can kind of be like, you deserve some happiness. That is pretty satisfying. Like, even though they don't say what happened and they were going to, but it's still satisfying enough. It has a sweetness, but a little bit of bitterness. Like when you're eating chocolate, it's like, this tastes good, even though you felt a little bitter in the back. But it was good chocolate you deserved. But yeah, ever since Spider-Man Unlimited, which I say one of the biggest cliffhanger endings of all time, I know a lot of people are demanding for Spectacular Spider-Man to get a revival, but I kind of want Spider-Man Unlimited to get a revival. I know that show's not a fan favorite, and it has its dislikers, and I can understand why. Like, it tries to be Batman Beyond, but it kind of fails, but I liked it for its own series, and even with that said, you really don't, if you saw its cliffhanger ending, Spider-Man Unlimited, you don't want, do you really want, as much as even if you don't like it, do you really want its ending to be like that? I mean, that was like the biggest cliffhanger endings of all time. But ever since then, they have been ending on cliffhangers. Ultimate Spider-Man and Marvel Spider-Man just now all didn't had did not had cliffhanger endings, which is good. Good. As much as this, but for this show, I did enjoy it. I enjoy. There were some frustrating parts, like why didn't Peter just tell Gwen and Anya he was Spider-Man? Because I feel like he had no reason to not tell Gwen and Anya he's not Spider-Man, because like they're both spider superheroes. He had no real reason to do this, and I feel like they had a right to be frustrated, but I feel like they went over their head by not talking to him, and I'm like, I would just be more confused. Like, why didn't you tell us? I was like, I was trying to keep you safe. But you're both spider superheroes to fight crime. What difference would it make if you didn't tell them? But yeah, that's my problem. I hope you, but I hope you, but I enjoyed the series for what it was. Like, I like Spider-Man. I liked the villains. I guess the animation needs some work, but I liked the story. I like some stories. I like the episode. I like the Venom parts. I like him meeting other characters. I like some fun parts. I liked that. It may not be a favorite Spider-Man show, but I liked it for what it was, and I enjoyed it. And yeah, I like the characters, and the characters were pretty great, and but yeah, sorry to see it go. Well, I'm glad it didn't end on a cliffhanger. So I hope you enjoy Marvel Spider-Man the cartoon. And did you like it? Did you didn't like it? Comment below. What was your problems? Did you enjoy it? Could have been better, or could have been worse, or what did you think of it? Comment below. Let me know, and hope you see some new videos.